Eric Church tickets at 740 for you. Commercial-free New Country 99.5 QYK. All right, it's the second date update right now. We've heard from Leslie. She's a little upset because she has not heard back from Paul since their date. We're about to find out what's going on because in her mind, they had a great conversation. She was impressed by the fact that he talked about his family. He seemed like a great dude. Well, we're going to find out right now because we have him on hold and he's agreed to talk to us. So let's just ask him straight up right now. Paul, you there?
Hi, yep.
Hey, Paul, thanks for agreeing to talk to us. I know you're kind of confused on what's going on. Let me just lay it out real quick. We heard that you went with a girl named Leslie for happy hour at Bar Louie, and she just was raving about your date and really wants to see you again. And I guess she's even texted you a couple times, but hasn't got anything back from you. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, the day was fine, but she said some things that just led me to believe that it was probably not a good situation to be a part of.
Like what?
I just got a sketchy vibe, like in relation to, her like previous situation with her ex. It led me to believe that she wasn't faithful, basically.
Oh, why were you guys talking about exes and she legit said I was not faithful to my ex?
She didn't outright say that, but it was pretty obvious to me. She did go into some details, just straight out told me. She mentioned that, that was her longest relationship, which was like a couple of years, whatever. And it ended with her ex kicking her out and changing the locks. So the stuff that she was saying was just like, okay, obviously, like you cheated, you weren't faithful to your boyfriend.
That's a conclusion that you drew from. Did you say that to her?
I didn't say anything. No, I just in my head I was like, yeah, I don't really want anything to do with that. That seems like a big red flag. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. And she didn't say anything more about it?
No, that was the extent of it. Just she went on about how it kind of blew up into this thing, and this kind of sketchy vibe.
So you guys were talking about past relationships, and that's how this came up, and then she laid all that out for you.
Yeah, we're talking about like longest relationships and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Paul, I would be very concerned about that as well if I heard those words. I do want to tell you that we have Leslie on the phone with us, and I want to bring her back on.
Oh, okay.
Leslie?
Hi. Yeah, I'm here.
The way you're describing that, if that's exactly what you said, that does sound a little sketchy.
I mean, that is what I said. That's what happened. I was being honest about what happened with my past relationship. I don't know why he's jumping to all of these conclusions. I didn't say anything about cheating. I didn't say any of that. I don't know where he's getting that from.
Well, from what you told him, it kind of sounds like.
I don't.
Yeah.
It ended badly. It ended abruptly. It was not. It was a bad breakup for sure. But this isn't about my last relationship. This is about me and him. This is about me and you, Paul.
You got kicked out of the house, right? Your ex kicked you out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and he changed the locks.
He did, but you also don't know him and what kind of guy he was. So it doesn't, I told you that stuff just as kind of like a throwaway. I was just kind of telling you a little bit about my past, but that doesn't mean that I cheated or that I'm a cheater or anything. I didn't say any of that. That you're just jumping to these conclusions.
Well, you also said that you screwed up. So, what does that mean?
I don't think that we need to get into all of my baggage on the radio. I just don't understand why you wouldn't call me back because you think you maybe know something about my past that has nothing to do with you, really.
I mean, if I'm dating you, then that has everything to do with me.
No, it doesn't. What happened in an old relationship has nothing to do with my new relationship, if that were to ever happen to me.
Just ignore red flags.
It's not a red flag. I was telling you about my past a little bit, but that I don't think that should be a red flag. And how paranoid are you?
Leslie, if we flip the script though, and he said this to you, how would you take that?
Exactly.
I would think that hey, that sounds like that was a really painful breakup, and maybe you don't want to talk about it right now.
Well, I guess it's up to Paul. I mean, she had a lot of nice things to say about you, Paul. I mean, would you be willing to see her again?
I mean, if she's not willing to even be forthright about like what actually happened, then yeah, I'm not so sure that's a great idea.
Okay, but I am being forthright. I told you all of that. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to hide anything, but you're jumping all over me and like thinking I'm a terrible person. You're just jumping to these conclusions. You have no information.
I didn't say you're a terrible person. I'm just saying, like, it's not a situation that sounds
not
good
worth
for
dating,
me.
though.
You know, especially like maybe if you were more open about it, like, you know, I'd be willing to.
Well, would you be willing to go out with her again, and then maybe she could talk more about this off the air?
I'd be willing to talk to her. You know, if she wants to like come clean and tell me like what the deal really is. But if she keeps on, you know, like trying to hide stuff and pretend like it's not a big deal, then I don't know. Well,
I mean, honestly, to me, this is kind of a red flag. Like, are you this kind of insecure?
I'm a red flag?
Anything like this? Yeah, a lot.
Because I'm cautious about who I date.
All right, guys, let me jump in here.
Because you're jumping to all...
I think we're going kind of back and forth. Yep. Why don't you guys just do this? Why don't you guys just kind of communicate through text or a phone call, and then you guys can kind of decide if you want to go back out again, all right?
Yeah, sounds
all right.
All right. All right, good luck, guys. Take care.
Thanks. Take care.
Woo. Something happened, no doubt about it.
Why would she even bring that up in the first place?
Well, I think he asked, like, what's your longest relationship was, and she answered it, and then he probably did a follow-up question of, well, you know, why did it end? They shouldn't have been talking about exes, but that happens all the time. All right. Would you trust her? Would you be willing to give her another shot, or would you do what Paul did and kind of back away? 800-992-1099, 800-992-1099.